we're going to start with the man himself, Jean Luc Picard. So in the show, Picard is a retired admiral who left Starfleet in protest of their, or the Federation's, it's not clear, mismanagement of the Romulan supernova, and becomes an android at the end of the show. That's more or less his character, more or less his arc. So with that in mind, what are your strengths? What do you see as strengths and room for improvement, Scholar Beta?
So grade-wise, I'm not really a big fan of the letter grades, but I'm going to go with something like developing proficiency for Picard. And my big piece of feedback would be remember your strength. Remember your strengths, my friend. Yes, is Picard a name and surface level only, in my opinion? Yes, he's bald. Yes, he has a vineyard. He's in France. But this character is also a diplomat, negotiator, and the living embodiment of Starfleet, and we don't see that. So here's what I'm going to do. Here's would be my suggestion to improve this grade. I think Picard's inner struggle should be wanting to get back in the captain's chair, but I think we should see him in the Federation Council instead. I think we should feel this tension between him wanting to pull off a Kirk, get back in there, get out on that adventure, but that's not him. Maybe even the audience really believes he's going to walk down that airlock and get in there. But I think instead we put him in the Federation Council, put him there with Kira, maybe Worf too, who are now leading their peoples. Maybe make Troy his chief of staff. I love the idea of that too. Make his portion of the show about him growing into a new chair, that of the Federation Council. And then, I know great minds think alike. I think you're going to mention this too. And then how about the Federation presidency? Here we see Picard actually use his skills in diplomacy, palace intrigue, negotiation, while resolving his feelings about his divorce. So we got multiple layers of characterization. We have this kind of ghost from his marriage. We have his strengths, what he wants, right, to get back into that chair. But the barrier may be his age or his new calling, his need to let someone else lead that starship, right, and realize his next level of diplomacy negotiation. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We got a character with a ton of strengths. Let's use those strengths. And there's a position in this story to be had. And to use those strengths. And it doesn't have to be in an action sense or in the captain's chair. What do you think, my friend? What's your grade? Open your grade book. Tell me a little bit about this character.
So if I were to give a grade, the character of Picard as written in the show, I'd give a B-, only in the sense that you got to take into account the fact that we don't have or haven't had proper Picard since All Good Things. And the creative choice of getting Picard out of the captain's chair was the right decision for reasons we talked about last class. And by last class, I mean last episode. I think that was the right decision. It opens up storytelling possibilities, even his divorce. I think that's an hysterical thing to add, a little bit of All Good Things. There
yes,
you
absolutely,
go.
Of course.
Talking about the divorce. Awesome stuff. So in my version, Picard takes the advice he got from Kirk in the Nexus to always make a difference. So he becomes an ambassador. And he talks about this in the story that I've written that's available in the link below in the description. And after the events of Nemesis, he asks himself, how do I make a difference? You have the Romulans at the end of Star Trek Nemesis wanting to potentially make peace with the Federation. And he realizes that facilitating peace in the capacity of an ambassador makes a bigger difference than serving as captain. So that serves as a way to transition him away from the Enterprise to a position in the Federation Diplomatic Corps. Then, as you pointed out, him becoming president of the Federation, I think there's definitely something to be said there. What I have in mind is this is kind of psychology of a sequel, because you have something that is thematically and tonally similar to the predecessor, but then slowly over the course of the story transitions to something new in terms of territory. Critics might say that putting Picard in as an ambassador and floating around on a spaceship is too much like Next Generation, but at the beginning of season 2, in my version of this arc, it takes a dramatic left turn. You put Star Trek Picard or Star Trek Destiny in my version of the story in something that is very, very much new, undiscovered territory, and that's the political intrigue of the Federation, and a kind of West Wing in space. I'd absolutely love that.
So, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking too. West Wing in space, and it's about recognizing your strengths and transitioning that to the next part of your life.
Love it.
I love, yeah, and I like that we both hit on that independent. We didn't like check each other's notes.
No, we didn't. And, that's the thing I love about this. So, that in mind, let's get into Trek work a little bit here. So, this little assignment here, you have heard both Scholar Beta and me talk about what we would do, what encore career, for lack of a better term, we would use for Picard. What would you do? You folks tell us. Submit it in the comments. Let us know. Greetings, everyone. Captain Kanaka here. On behalf of all the educators at Teachers Talking Trek, I hope you enjoyed our little video here. As always, please let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you like what you see and want to see more, please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter through the handle @TrekTeachers. So with that said, live long and prosper, e malama pono, and see you next time.